Once silver goes above 50 in US dollar terms, and I believe it will this time, not maybe the next time through, it might stall out and back off and go back to that 42, and then we'll see it can never get above 50. And then 3 weeks later it's at 65 because silver can make those kind of moves. Once the algorithms see it above 50 and it stays above 50, they'll start buying because everyone's taught backwards. They're taught buy low and sell high. What you really want to do is buy high and sell higher. And that's your actually best way to trade stocks or commodities.
In recent years, silver has gained renewed attention for its role in green technologies, such as solar panels and electric vehicles, and its historical function as a hedge against inflation. The Minerals Council of Australia says the same monetary policies and investments expected to drive up the price of gold by 2030 will also push its poor cousin along. The MCA predicts silver prices will surge 27% because of increased demand for silver in consumer electronics and solar photovoltaic cell production. David Morgan is a widely recognized analyst in the precious metals industry and consults for high net worth investors. In this video, David Morgan emphasizes that if silver breaks 50, momentum traders and algorithms could push prices sharply higher.
And I'll own this because I was the one actually way back when the silver market did really well from the year roughly 2000 and 2011. And I said, gold will preserve your wealth, but silver could, not would, but could make you wealthy, meaning that silver will outperform gold. And it did during those years, but it hasn't since. In fact, it's really lagged gold based on the gold-silver ratio. You know, when I was out there speaking on silver worldwide back in those years, silver went from, the $5 level all the way back up to 50 temporarily or close to it. And the gold-silver ratio got down to 33 to 1. Now the gold-silver ratio is like 85 to 1 with silver at, round numbers 30 and gold at 2,700. So if I had to take that statement back, which I can't, I'd say that gold preserves your wealth and so does silver. And that's about all it's done. And the only way I could see it really outperforming silver in the near future is a panic buy into silver because there's a perception we're running out. So these deficits continue. One industry like Apple Computer doesn't have enough for the iPhone, and all of a sudden they go to their logistics department and they say, hey, order us, however many tons of silver we need for the next 3 months. And they say, hey, we just got a call from whatever metals dealer they're using. They don't have it. So now Apple has to put their iPhone on hold. I'm just making up a scenario. But something like that would take place. You might, if that got sniffed out and other industrial users knew that, they might go ahead and buy more than normal. And then if that caught on to the retail market or the investment community, institutional and retail, then you could see some panic buying. But I think that cryptocurrency world has taken over the silver world. Which I mean by that, if you look at one of my favorite books back here, Silver, the Restless Metal, all the data through about 1960 shows if you have high inflation, silver's the place to be. And I believe that. And it was by historical standards. But now, if we have a hyperinflation or a high inflation, it's probably the crypto world is the place to be. Think about doubling your money. I mean, Bitcoin's got to go from 100,000 to 200,000.
Yep.
That's a lot of loot.
That's $4 trillion in market cap.
Yeah. So that takes a lot of energy to do that. And it's like a penny stock. A 12-cent stock could go to $1 a lot easier than Barrick can double usually, but different conditions. So I think you're making a very, very solid point. And it's the psychology is more what I was pointing toward. And I'm glad you brought up the facts about it, which you did a great job on. And having said that, I think there could be a reversal, at least temporarily, where, as I said earlier, you might get the synergy of investment demand. Hey, silver's cheap and everybody's buying it. I mean, it doesn't take much. Silver is a small market. And so if everyone says, you know what, it's above 30, but all of a sudden it's at 40, and I'm sure it's going, I'll tell you another thing, the algorithm. Once silver goes above 50 in US dollar terms, and I believe it will this time, not maybe the next time through, it might stall out and back off and go back to that 42, and then we'll see, it can never get above 50. And then 3 weeks later, it's at 65 because silver can make those kind of moves. Once the algorithms see it above 50 and it stays above 50, they'll start buying. Because everyone's taught backwards. They're taught buy low and sell high. What you really want to do is buy high and sell higher. And that's your actually best way to trade stocks or commodities. What we know for a fact, and I love to state a fact, I'm a trained engineer before I got my finance degree. And the facts are that silver is the only commodity that's ever had a users association. Now, it's been disbanded or purportedly disbanded. You can't find them on the internet anymore, but there was the Silver Users Association. Well, what was the Silver Users Association? Well, it was all the silver users that were super powerful, like Dow Chemical, Kodak at the time, because Kodak, film before the modern age, old style film used a great deal of silver. So you had Kodak, Dow Chemical, some of the conglomerates. And they band together for one reason and one reason only, and that was to keep silver's price down low because it's an industrial commodity. Let's not think of it as money. Let's make sure that we band together and have a cartel to control the price. And that's the Silver Users Association. I think we might see 40 this year. Of course, that's barring a black swan hitting a black swan where we could go crazy. But I do think that we're going to have a hard time getting over the 33 high that we saw last year. And once we do that, then we'll probably continue higher. I did say we would consolidate, and we kind of, what they do say in the commodities business, consolidate the gains. We've already seen both gold and silver up roughly 30% year over year last year. And so it's going to take a while to digest that kind of a move. And once we do, then they'll either move up or down, and it's probably going to move up. And it could go soon. It could go not soon. I'm thinking it's going to go between a big trading range, both gold and silver, in a trading range, which they both have been in for some time. I think that will continue for a few months. The only caveat I have to that is there's a real stress going on in the exchange for physicals market, the ETF market, where you can exchange a piece of paper and get physical metal. And with the tariffs, that's throwing a wrench into the gears as well, because the silver users that need the product for industrial reasons are worried about a tariff. So now they're shipping silver here, there, and everywhere before a possible tariff goes in place, because if there's a tariff added on the silver, obviously that's going to increase the price. So there's a bit of a scramble going on in the silver market right now, and it looks on paper as if we could be in a situation that could go into a silver squeeze. And I'll say it on your show. I mean, I'm saying it's possible, but it is something to watch, because silver can defeat the best of us. But it can surprise me, and I know what to look for more than the average person would. Not perfectly, but I certainly have got more experience. And with all that said, I wouldn't be shocked if all of a sudden we are at 33, by March 1st, because there's problems getting physical in the silver market. What's ironic about that is I'm differentiating the silver market, which is the commercial bar 1,000 ounce bar market, versus the retail market, which is your silver rounds, silver government minted coins, your kilo bars, and your 100 ounce bars. That market's dead, at least in North America. No one is buying silver in the retail market. In fact, the sells are greater than the buys. Talk about irony. The basic silver stacker out there is disgusted, worn out, tired, doesn't want to hear the words, got enough, I want to sell some, waiting for a pop so I can get rid of some. And yet on the silver industrial / big buyers, which buy 1,000 ounce bars for investment, that market's pretty tight.
Don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps out the channel. And if you want to stay updated with more content like this, be sure to subscribe and click the bell icon so you never miss a video.